What's up, YouTube and privileged ones? Hello and welcome back to the channel for yet another Destiny 2 episode. And as per the title, you already know what's going on. How to get Outbreak Prime, or in this case, Outbreak Perfected. The Destiny 1 fan favorite pulse rifle exotic is now back in Destiny 2, and it's been added into the database, and we actually figured out how to get it. With the brand new update today, we are able to acquire Outbreak Prime, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to do so. With that, I'm also going to show you gameplay of the final mission, because that final mission is difficult. So I'm going to show you the pathway. I'm going to talk about a couple of hints and secrets that might help you out. And with that, it's going to give you a faster time overall. Killing all the enemies in the final room is difficult and challenging, and if you do so, you will be awarded with this brand new exotic. Now, you've been watching gameplay of the exotic already, so let's go over the perks. With that, the perks are the Corruption Spreads, Exotic Intrinsic. This weapon creates Siva Nanite Swarms on rapid hits and precision kills. Then we've got the Extended Barrel, we've got Accurized Rounds, and we've got Outlaw. Precision kills greatly decrease the reload time, which is fantastic for this exotic. Then we've got Parasitism. This weapon does more damage to enemies based on the number of Siva Nanite Swarms that attach to them. Now, if you get the rapid hits and you spawn a bunch of Sevite Nanite Swarms and it attaches to a boss, you could probably do a significant amount of damage to them. I haven't tested it just yet, but I really want to do it against the raid bosses. With that, that will be for a later video. In the Crucible, though, it allows you to one-shot everyone that has Siva Nanites actually attached to them in the Crucible, which is fantastic. It allows you to do some clean sweeps of the enemy team in Crucible, and it's a ton of fun. So, of course, you would want to acquire it. So how do you exactly acquire this pulse rifle? First, I want to talk about the prerequisites or the requirements before you can even grant access to Outbreak Perfected's questline. There are a couple of things that YouTubers aren't really talking about in their videos or even showing you. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly that. There is a door that is locked on Titan if you haven't completed the Enemy of My Enemy questline. To grant access to the Enemy of My Enemy questline, you're going to want to complete the entire main story of Destiny 2 from the very beginning of release. Then you're going to go to talk to Sloan, and then Sloan will grant you with this questline. At the end of the questline, you will also grant access to the exotic sidearm known as Rat King, but let's not worry about that. On the third and final mission of Enemy of My Enemy, you're going to want to leave Mithrix, the captain, alive. Kill the knight instead, and then the captain's going to disappear. This captain you are going to come across later, but let's not worry about that. After you've left Mithrix, Mithrix will then grant access to the door. Now, if you go to the Bad Neighbors Heroic Adventure that is up this week, it'll also carry you all the way to the doorway. The doorway to the left after killing the first Shrieker in this Heroic Adventure is going to be unlocked. Now, if you don't know how to get to this door, I'm going to just show you some gameplay of how to actually go to the door and enter. So you've already watched that. Now inside this room on the table, you're going to be able to pick up a little item. That item that you interact with is going to be a fallen transponder, and that's going to grant you access to being able to fill 6 nodes. The 6 nodes are going to be acquired at 6 different lost sectors. 4 lost sectors on the EDZ, and 2 lost sectors on Nessus. Which lost sectors we're going to go over right now in order from 1 through 6. First node, you're going to want to travel to the Trosslands in the EDZ and head towards the outskirts. The exact lost sector you're going to want to enter for node 1 is known as the Drain, and you can actually hover over that exact lost sector on the map. I'm also showing you how to get there in the gameplay. Follow the exact path that I'm taking in the gameplay footage that's sped up, and you're going to find node number 1 at the far back of the lost sector towards the left. Once you acquire one of these nodes or items laying on the ground, you're going to be able to go in your inventory and check, and you'll be able to see that one of the nodes have been filled in. You've got to collect all 6 before you grant access to the quest that is going to allow you to acquire the exotic. Node number 2, you're going to want to turn around and head out of that lost sector and go to the other lost sector at the other side of the outskirts known as Whispered Falls. You're going to go through the lost sector, and in one of the first major areas, there's going to be a cave off to the right. If you go in that cave and look around the corner, you'll notice the node laying on the ground. Node number 3, you're going to want to open up your map and then fast travel back to the Tross lands and go inside of the atrium, which is the lost sector located underneath the church. You're going to want to make your way through the lost sector, and then off to the left, you're going to enter the one room where there's going to be a single drag you can shoot. Normally, you make your way around the corner to enter the room to kill the boss. But this time, you're going to want to follow towards the left, enter the small little cubby room, and on the ground, you're going to notice it laying there just for you to pick up. Now, to get node number 4, you can either backtrack through the church or you can just fast travel back to the Tross lands. Doesn't matter. And then you're going to want to head to the lost sector in the Tross lands to the left, known as Widow's Walk. Make your way through the lost sector all the way to the boss room. You can actually bypass all the enemies. You don't have to kill them, but if they're worried about them, then kill them anyway. Go to the lost sector's chest and up to the right in the broken abandoned building. You're going to want to jump up there, and the node is going to be in that building. Now it's time to get nodes 5 and 6, which are located on Nessus. And more specifically, the first one, node 5, is located on the Exodus Black. Fast travel to the Exodus Black, and then go to the lost sector that's located directly across from that area where you spawn. This is the lost sector known as the Rift, and this is a little tricky. So make your way all the way to the lost sector's chest, and then when you're staring at the chest, turn around and you're going to see 2 carrier containers. These supply containers, there's going to be one in the far back that's going to be hanging off of the ledge. You're going to want to jump on that, jump down, and then into that carrier. It's going to then have node number 5. After that, node number 6 is located in the Glade of Echoes, where you're going to want to fast travel back to Exodus Black, hop on your Sparrow, travel there, and the only lost sector in that area is known as Carrier's Pit. In Carrier's Pit, you're then going to want to just make your way where I'm showing you exactly in the video footage, and you'll be able to find node number 6. It's tucked behind a little bit of rubble, so it's going to be tricky to spot, but just make sure that you're following my exact steps in the video. Now, Guardians, you're on your final quest step to get Outbreak Perfected, and all you have to do now is go and fast travel to the farm. That's right, the exact same farm that we no longer go to in the EDZ. And you're going to want to go into that basement that back in year 1, we were wondering as a community what they were going to do with that room. There is now a room down there, and if you go all the way to the back of the room, you're going to meet a captain that says rendezvous. If you rendezvous with the captain, you're going to get thrown into a mission that's 20 minutes long, as you can see here. And I will be playing the mission out all the way to its entirety starting now. With that, this 20-minute timed mission is kind of like similarities towards the Whisper quest, where you have a set amount of ads to kill, you've got a jumping puzzle, you've got a couple of obstacles, and yes, it is a little different, but it still proves the exact same strategy. You're going to want to have a well put together team using all weapons that are of different damage types, because the enemies will have different shields, solar, arc, and void, and you're going to want to be using the Whisper that you acquired way back when, because the Whisper is going to be one of the best power weapons to use for this event. Now, during this encounter, I have a couple of tips, tricks, and hints, information that might help you out, but overall, it's going to really take a good team, a dedicated team to take the time in and probably run this multiple times. If you complete this on the first try, kudos to you, congratulations, good job, because my team completed it in its 3rd try. Then before that, the people that I was actually playing with also completed it once before, and it took them multiple times to figure out the pathway. Now, the jumping puzzles and trying to get to the boss room as quickly as possible is the hard part. That's the most challenging part. To do this, again, you're going to want to have things where you're using different supers. I would highly recommend having a Warlock or a Titan for one of the jumping puzzle parts, and I would also recommend having a tether so you can generate a ton of orbs for your team. Now, if you're a hunter and you already have a tether on your team, I would recommend using what I did, and that was Blade Barrage with the Shards of Galanor, and I was able to get my super back pretty quickly. And you're going to want to also stay next to your teammates. If you're all calling out a specific group of ads, and you go in and you kill those ads, move on to the next group and move together. Also, cycle each other's supers. You pop a super and kill a group of enemies, Now your teammates might have enough orbs to get their super back. You're going to want to pay attention to when you're using your supers, when you're generating orbs, and also pay attention to your ammo. Use your ammo wisely, especially your power and your energy weapon. If you waste all of your power ammo, you might not have whisper ammo for the boss room, so try not to use your whisper sniper rifle right from the beginning. And also pay attention to being able to hold onto your energy weapon ammo just so you can use it on the shields of that damage type. I was using main ingredient, so I always had to attack the arc shields, and everyone else on my team was using solar and void. Now, for the one part where you're going to want to end up jumping down, I'll show you in the video. There's going to be a section where the warlock jumps down. There's going to be a platform where the warlock can land, and then the platform will then come out. It extends, and hunters and titans and warlocks, anyone that's on your team, can jump down and then proceed. Then just follow the jumping puzzle and the pathway in the video just like we do until you get to the maze. Now in the maze there's a left side and a right side, and I want you all to pay attention because during the maze there's going to be cubby holes in the walls. If you ever see Trevor, which is a giant death trap Zamboni that will be following you throughout the maze, if he appears, if you hear him, make sure you try to slide into one of these cubby holes. You're going to notice it. It's just a hole that you have to crouch into along the walls. There's plenty of them there. So just make sure that you're paying attention to where these holes are so you can hide from Trevor. Now, during the maze, you're going to want to have one person at least go left and one person go right. On the far corners of each side, there's going to be a lever that you have to pull to open up a door. There are 4 levers, and you only need to have 2 people go and capture the levers. The third person can just run ahead and try to hide from Trevor. If you have someone that's just really bad at the maze, have them run ahead, and then the 2 people that are the best at the maze, that are actually good at hiding from Trevor, have them go and get the levers. From there are a couple of other hidden secrets throughout the jumping puzzle. There's several levers and switches that you can hit to allow for teammates that aren't good at jumping puzzles to get through it quickly and efficiently. And then it really comes down to the remaining time you have in the final boss room. The final boss room, I'm just going to tell you this. Kill everything. Use your whisper on the walker tanks. Use your whisper on the boss. Use your energy weapons to kill the shields of anything else throughout the room. There are going to be shanks that do a lot of damage. They have arc shields. Make sure you're using something like an arc fusion rifle, which is what I used, main ingredient. It worked really well. And cycle supers. I can't stress this enough. Cycle supers, guys. But that's it. I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to let you guys watch the entire gameplay footage of the mission all the way through to the end. And after you beat it, congratulations, you've got Outbreak Perfected. There's one more thing I've got to leave off with this. Each week, there is going to be a version of this on the EDZ in your directory. That's a heroic version. If you complete the heroic version multiple times, you will also unlock a catalyst or masterworked version of the Outbreak Perfected. So far, no one has it because it takes multiple weeks, but that's exactly how you do it. And yes, this heroic version is slightly different. So again, I can tell you how to do it, I can show you the ropes, but ultimately it's going to be your job to go into the mission, try it for yourselves, and really perfect it. I can't really help you guys perfect a jumping puzzle or a maze, or perfect how to kill things effectively. I can just tell you what to use, and hopefully you listen to me. As always, Guardians, I hope you all enjoyed the episode, and if you did, remember to smash a like on it, share it with your fellow Guardians to help them out, and as always, subscribe to the channel for future Destiny content. Stay violent and be privileged.
Guardian down. Guardian down. Guardian down.